the one thing that is completely out of my control that you're going to deal with when you're going live is, if I was here, and I could do this here drilling, right? Felipe is not dead. He's going to be using his hands to push this leg down. So it is pointless to try to keep that leg up when he has a free hand to smash my leg down. So having your leg below is fine. You just want to make sure that you're chopping your heel in so you have a good bite, and that your arm is all the way around. And having a good angle is directly connected to having your arm all the way around. If my angle is bad, my arm is not going to be deep. So if I'm paying attention, being sideways and getting a high bite with my grip, I know I'm going to be in the right spot. Now, you can do the cross collar. I just personally like this a little bit better with the same side collar, but you guys can try either. I want my partner to be moving a little bit. So what does that mean? If I hook and I try to move myself right away, I feel like there's no momentum. So I use this foot on the knee to make him take a step back, not too far, so just a little bit. And now I'm going to use this distance to slide myself in. So I turn this step into a hook. I use the grips and the connections to slide myself in without changing my angle, so that when I'm here, it's very easy for me to now use that shin to kick him out and use my collar to yank out, right? Once I get his leg off the ground, I want the top person to drop the knee, and instead of pulsing two hands on the ground, I want them to start blocking. Why? If you're the top person and you're doing this, you're way behind. You know, you're giving me all the room. I can start pummeling, and I'm going to come up very easy. And not only that, when we're drilling, if the person is like that, their knee sometimes turns down, which again, it's a bad reaction for him. It's a bad reaction for me to drill, because I'm not, even if I start working on this here, I'm going to be like, oh, professor, it's not really working. But why? Because this doesn't exist. If they was doing this, I wouldn't want to be under. I would pummel right away. So the right reaction for the top person is what? Blocking, trying to push my knee away, trying to point their knee up so that they could try to get back and step you on the floor, right? And that's going to link me into the proper reaction, which is going to be creating an angle. And that's all I want you guys to do right now. Use this knee or this foot under their knee, and I'm going to try to bend his leg up. And you see how very common mistake when we're doing this is lift the leg up, but allow us to turn to this way where my partner lands on top of me, smashing me, right? So you got to pay attention to that. I'm creating the angle on his leg, so I'm making his leg bend a little bit by shooting my shin, my leg, under his knee, but I'm still facing Felipe. I don't want my hip to turn the other way. Now, he's going to keep blocking my shin, and I want you guys to elevate both with the bottom leg and with your hand going up so that we can start slipping the knee inside. After I slip the knee inside, you guys can work with these double unders here, like we're working knees out, hooks in. It's just very important, and I was really paying attention to this when I was teaching last night, is I don't want to pummel under and allow his leg to go too low. What does that mean? We can go here, we can elevate, and sometimes we do this, right? And his foot is down on my chest. I could still make this work, right? If I keep his leg off the ground, maybe go over and transform this into like this full lock grip, I could still make it work. But right now, I want you guys to try to keep the leg up on your shoulders. So look at how, when I'm elevating the leg and I shoot my hand up towards the ceiling, how I start bringing my knee inside, but I'm using the kind of the crook of my arm to guide his ankle onto the kind of crook between my neck, my ear, my shoulder, and I'm gonna keep this bite. I only want you guys to get up to here now. You can keep these double controls under if you want, or you can go to regular single leg X, just so it's a little bit more comfortable. Since we've been working a lot on this kind of stuff, after you guys drill this, we're gonna talk more about simple attacks from here, just so you kind of feel how this works, how I can work with this. But I'm just gonna touch up on the stuff that we're doing in the last couple weeks, just so you guys see how many options we have there, okay? So again, I'm going to start with a good shin grab. I could be already with my same side collar grip, move my hip off to the side, shoot deep, bite low. Now, little step. I like to use the tip of my toes, because as soon as he steps, I'm already hooking on it. So he goes back, I hook, enter, kick him to the side. Good reaction by Felipe. So he's already facing me, trying to get back. His goal is to get back, right? But how am I stopping that? Using my hook, push yourself back in. I use my hook. So even if we stay on this fight over here, and especially I feel like when he's trying to drive himself back, it's the easiest time to pummel the knee, okay? So again, it's not wrong. It wouldn't be wrong to pummel foot first. It's just hard if his hand is blocked, you know what I mean? If his hand is here, then very hard to pummel the foot, and that's why we're pummeling the knee first. Try to pay attention on the leg level, making sure it's high up on your shoulder, and keep the control, okay? So just working on that setup, guys, from the shin grab there, and then you start working on some come-ups, maybe you're going to the back too, and just review still for the lesson, okay? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. A little bit easier. So really try to get your partner a little bit further away, so that you use that to enter and move to the side. Okay? Try to pay attention on that, because it really makes a difference when you're going live. Now, just touching up here on the setup itself, In case you guys do this, so if Felipe is blocking, he's trying to push himself back, I'm able to create a good angle, lift and pummel my leg in. What I said before, right? If I feel like his leg is getting too low on my chest, so I lost the angle here, it's no longer up on my shoulder, up on my neck, I still want to keep a control, right? So we've done this, it's been a while, but we've done setups where instead of being under the leg, we've gone over the leg and worked this full lock grip, right? The only difference I feel is that I'm not going to be able to spin under his back as easily because the control that I have kind of locks me, but this control is really good. I can use this to start pushing my partner away and standing up. I can kind of control him here, let him come back on top of me and try to tripod underneath, and I can also use this to attack the foot, right? Once you're brown and black, if I'm not mistaken, nowadays, you can roll to the inside. You gotta be careful doing with your partner, but it's a very strong position. You can't reach, so I can't shoot my foot through, but I could use this heel on the hip, or I could use this hook underneath the knee over here, and it's very powerful if I start rolling to the inside. So just have it in mind that once you set up, so you're able to successfully set up and get underneath, but you feel like you're losing level, the leg's getting too low, if you try to insist on being under, it might be too late. Sometimes the best answer is to just go over, control this full lock, and then you can keep working your attacks, right? Now, as far as the control goes, guys, still, even before we get underneath, remember that this angle doesn't only allow me to go under like we're doing, but this is the exact same thing I was doing last week. Right now, I'm working more on keeping him away and trying to work on the leg itself, but if I choose to keep this control and I start going under the leg, we have options, right? I can start going in, moving my leg over the knee line and start going into the waiter, right? I can get a grip on the center of his hip and use this tension to come out the back door and start attacking the back, right? But if I really can't do either of those, my partner's blocking, that's when I'm using this, or if I just want to be underneath better, that's when I'm going underneath, right? From here, we've done a lot of attacks on coming up and tripod, and I want you guys just to feel how this works. For me personally, I really like to get this grip on the pants and just keep this squeeze. But you can cup the kneecap, you can keep your arm across and just kind of bite your elbow down. It's up to you. We're gonna try to do two elevations with this, these two hooks. One, I'm gonna kind of elevate into Felipe, so I'm gonna get close to him, and I'm gonna try to reach for his second pants, right? And you guys know, whenever we have two pants, it's an easy come up. I just gotta make sure that I position myself well. I have nowhere to post, right? My hands are compromised. So if I try to rock up right away, it's gonna be hard. So try to push him away from you, extend your legs down, and then start building up on your elbow and your knee. So I really gotta shoot my legs down and then start coming up on the elbow, the knee's gonna fall. So again, if I have two pants and I'm working with these controls under, I'm gonna shoot into him, get a little bit of the weight off, my legs extend down so that I start coming up on the elbow and the knee, and I can kind of finish the sweep. Just make sure, and this is very common when I see you guys practice, your head can't stay twisted. Come back, Flip. I don't want you to do this. Come up like this with your head facing the ground. If I'm gonna come up, look at how I'm still squeezing my head and my shoulder. No matter what I'm doing, my head stays up. One, so I don't lose his leg, and two, so I bring it higher sooner, easier to get him down. So keep that in mind. I was showing you guys the back take, but I'm not so focused on that because it's a little bit more complicated. Just so you guys know it's there, right? Whenever we have these hooks underneath, okay, I elevated him more forward, right? But if Felipe is trying to get back on top of me, I could use this elevation to start getting underneath. If I get under him like this and I can change to this hip grip, we could start getting behind and going to the crab ride. Similar to what we did last week, but a little different. So why am I not focusing on it so much? Because I feel like it's a lot easier to spin and take their back successfully before, if we're here. So like if I have this bite, it's a little bit tighter, right? Because I know I'm gonna create a good tension, and if I were able to create this grip, I can go behind. But being underneath here with two hooks still allow us to start inverting under, reaching for his hip, and start getting around. So you guys can work on that, it's there too. But I'll focus more first on the setup, most important thing, focusing on the setup so I get good at it. Creating the angle so my partner doesn't come back, and then just working through the variations, okay? So keep working on the same setup and everything we did now. Work on that come up, and try to take some time to review the stuff we did last week if you can. Go into the back, the waiter, all that stuff, just so you guys can practice and keep going a little longer on that same topic, okay? Let's go, guys. Practice a little, and then we'll do some situations from there after, all right? Let's go. 1, 2, 3.